Hey everybody, welcome back to Thorn Thistle Farm. Today we're going to identify and make sassafras tea from actual sassafras root. Now, what we're looking for is saplings out here. For those of you guys that don't know, sassafras is probably the first original poor person's beverage. So it's all natural. You can put a little bit of sugar in it. You can use the leaves and kind of steep it. Make it like a sun tea, like in the middle of summer. But we're going to take our trusty pickaxe here, go out into the woods. I think a couple of the puppies are going to accompany me, and we're going to find this. Also post some pictures of what the leaves look like and the roots. Now the sassafras root actually kind of has like an L shape to it. So usually you can find one direction and you'll kind of pull the whole thing up. You don't really want to look for a large sassafras tree or even like a mid-sized one. Like here's a mid-sized sassafras tree right here actually. So if you look at that, and that's just too big, you know. You don't really want to mess with that. You're looking for little saplings, and they kind of have like a green base to them with like little white vertical lines. But the biggest thing to them is their smell. So if we just kind of look around, we'll find one, identify it. That's a sassafras. Here's a good one right here. So it doesn't take a lot of this stuff to make the tea, but you can see here, it's a nice sassafras. I don't know if you can see the color, but it's green, and then it goes down into almost kind of like a light brownish with like little white vertical lines on it. So this is what we're looking for, little saplings. Now I am going to tell you right now that the FDA put a ban on this, stating that it had high levels of safrole that can have carcinogenic effects, and it's like 1 to a billion. Myself personally, we've been drinking this stuff for hundreds of years, and I mean, no one in my family's ever had cancer. So I know that the sassafras is also an anti-parasitic, so we'll feed this to our ducks and chickens and hogs and things like that to rid them of parasites. So I'm going to get this dug up, and then I'll see you guys in the kitchen. Oh, you can smell it. Yep, that's sassafras root right there. Let me get a few more of them. Probably need like a 1/4 pound. All right, we're back in from the woods, and I've got plenty of sassafras root here to make several gallons of sassafras tea. This is that L section I was talking about. So when you're digging, you want to make sure that you're going deep and up, because this is just generally how the sassafras root grows. And you want to get this. This is the good stuff. It's what you want. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to cut these into 1-inch sections, and I'm going to wash them over and over again in the sink to make sure they're clean, because obviously it's a bulb, so we want to get all that mud and dirt off of it. See y'all in a second. Okay, so I've got my sassafras root nice and cleaned. I've got it cut down to approximately 1 inch. If you can't get them exactly 1 inch, it's okay to just kind of rip them in half. Because what you want to do is, expose the inside of the root as much as possible. So what you're going to need for this is 2 large pots, one filled with water, a strainer, and then your root, a heating source, and I'll get to this here in a little bit, but I like sugar. I'm in the South, everything's sweet. So I like my tea sweet, so I like my sassafras tea sweet. And the cool thing about sassafras is that, like I said, it's like the first poor person's drink. So we make this when we go camping. When I was a kid, it was kind of our job to go out and get this. My grandfather was a huge, huge fan. I know his mom showed him how to make it, and I'm sure her mom showed her how to make it. So we're going to put the sassafras root in. The more sassafras root you have, the less you have to cook it. So less root, more cook time. So we've got a good bit, and we're going to put this over here. It's going to take probably 20 to 30 minutes of cooking on high for that to boil, and then I will show you how you can see when it's done. It should turn like almost a bright red color, and then you'll strain it a few times to make sure that you get all the little, you know, wood particulate out, which is what they say, you know, that saffron is contained that's supposed to be carcinogenic. So personally, I'm not buying it. Do this at your own risk. If you want to, there is FDA approved sassafras extract, and you can buy that for about $40 an ounce. Not something that like I'm gonna do, because like I said, we've been drinking this for forever. So be right back. All right, so our sassafras has been cooking for about 28 minutes, and it looks good to me, so we're gonna test it. How you do this is you take a clear jar, this is a ball jar here, and a ladle, or a ladle. You pour some in there. And then you want to look at the coloring. So you can see there, it's a very, very dark color, and that's what you want. So what we're going to do now is just strain it, and then I'll probably put a little sugar in it. It's a bit of the hot part here. So I also want to get back to this. So if you take, during the summer, and you fill this up with sassafras leaves, and I'll post some pictures of it, you can set this out for a day or two, the same as you make sun tea, and you'll get delicious sassafras tea that way as well. Now, it's not quite as pungent, doesn't taste, you know, as much like sarsaparilla or the root beer flavor that I like, but it's another way that you can do it. Let's get this over. Now this is dangerous, a lot of steam's gonna come up. Probably my least favorite part. Ugh. You can see that's hot, so kind of keep it away from your face. And then you're just gonna strain it in there. You're going to notice it's catching all those little wood fibers and all those things. That's a hot one. It's a little bit chilly today here in the Ozarks, so I don't really mind the extra heat. Okay, so there we go. Now that's transferred in there, I'm going to put a cup, probably half of sugar in here. And then I'll stir that up. So for you guys that are wondering about our ducks, right now we have 3 newborn baby ducklings, and we have 4 or 5 more that are cracked. We're expecting them to come today. So now this is hot, so I'm going to let this cool down, and then I'm going to enjoy it. So that's how you make sassafras tea. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. And be smart, stay safe, and don't let the thorn and thistle keep you down.